Hey babe, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a meditation to change the ego. Our ego to me is really about who we think we are and who we think we want to be. Ego is really based in the mind and intuition is based in the soul. So ego has a lot of social constructs and rules and standards that we've learned from other people and patterns from other people, and it's not our truest self, but there's nothing wrong with it, right? We need the ego, and the ego is important, and it helps us navigate our human existence. The ego is really a beautiful thing, in my opinion, because it's like when we demonize the mind for having negative thoughts. It's not the mind's fault. Like, the mind is supposed to have thoughts. It's supposed to think. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And so with the ego, it's like, you know, it's doing its job all the time, and we have to learn how to discern between what is ego and what is soul. What is my truth? What is my real truth? One of the ways that I see good in the ego is that it helps us in our willpower. It helps us in our resiliency. So like when we have something that, you know, we really want to go after and that feels, you know, really true and really good for us. It's like, this is my path. I want to do this. I deeply desire this. The ego can really help propel us forward and give us that like internal motivation to do it, and the resiliency to like stay with it when it doesn't work out. But on the other side, it also has a lot of like false beliefs that aren't necessarily true to us. And so when we do this meditation to change the ego, it's less about like changing the ego and more about observing the ego and learning to observe what is ego so that we can better discern what is true for me and what feels good to me and what doesn't. That's really what this meditation is all about, okay? So for this meditation, you're gonna make little fists with the thumbs pointing up, and then the sides of the thumbs touch, but the rest of the hands stay apart. The elbows are down by the sides, and the hands are right about at heart center. For this eye gaze, this drishti, you're actually gonna focus down towards the knuckles, down towards the hands, so you're looking down towards the hands, and your eyes are just a sliver open. So it's just like that kind of 1/10 way open, looking towards the tip of the nose, except you're looking towards the hands. So your chin isn't down, your chin is still parallel, but the eyes are just focused down towards the hands. And the breath pattern is a like 32 count breath. So what that means is we're going to inhale for a count of 8, hold the breath at the top for a count of 8, exhale for a count of 8, and hold at the bottom for a count of 8. If you are new to segmented breath like this, I would recommend starting at a 50% of that, so at a 4 count, where you inhale for 4, hold at the top for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold at the bottom for 4. And do a couple rounds like that, and then as you get more familiar with that, try to work your way up to 5, do a few rounds at 5, and then 6, and then 7, until you get all the way up to 8. And it's okay if you stay at 4 for a long time. When I practiced segmented breath for the first months, maybe year of segmented breath, I always did lower breaths because I didn't have that I hadn't expanded that capacity in my lungs to be able to hold the breath that long, and that's totally okay. You work your way up. It's a new way of breathing. I'm not going to count you through the first couple rounds just so you can do it on your own time, since it is a longer segmented breath. So you just count. The main goal here is to keep that breath even. So if you're doing a 4 count, make sure it's 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. It's not 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, you want it to be equal. But if you get a little off, it's okay. There's no perfect here. There's just doing your very best and trying your best. This meditation you can do for up to 31 minutes, but it's recommended to start with 3 and to do 3 for the first few times you do it, and then you can slowly increase it in increments of 1 or 2 or 3 minutes and work your way up if you really like this meditation and you want to lengthen it. If you like to practice with music, I of course have a song for you below that you can play that I really like to do with this meditation or do this meditation too. I have a bunch of different songs that I love, but I always like to put a couple options for you because music is really fun for me to practice too, and so I can't play it here because of copyright reasons, which is a bummer, but I always have those options for you. So let's go ahead and get in the posture. Fists with the fingers, sides of the thumbs touch, eyes mostly closed, looking down towards the hands, and we'll begin our 3 minutes of this breath meditation to change the ego. Inhale through the nose. Stretch the arms overhead and open and close the fists. Open and close the hands. Keep opening and closing them. Hold the breath. And exhale, release them down to your knees or in your lap. Eyes stay closed. Just observe the body. And when you're ready, flutter your eyes open. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I love that meditation. I love segmented breath, but if it felt really challenging for you, that's so normal. And when I first started doing practices like this, that segmented breath felt so unnatural to me. But the more you practice it, the more you get used to it. Just like everything, it's like flexing a muscle. It's building your relationship with that type of breath. And so you get more used to it, it becomes more second nature to you. So if this meditation felt good for you, or if it felt really hard for you and it feels like you maybe should do it again, or you want to do it again. Sometimes that's what happens in Kundalini. We do a practice, it was really hard. That's kind of how we know it was working on something. And so we want to do it again. So I invite you to just do a few minutes of this every day or every few days, or just do it once more just to see how it feels a second time. You never know how it's going to feel in Kundalini. Nothing ever feels the same twice. It's always a little bit different. So thank you for joining me today. I love you so much. Have an amazing day, and I will see you back here soon. Mwah.